everyone, my name is Nishant. I'm a 7th grade science teacher. I teach here in the Inland Empire, and for the last 4 years I've been doing some experiments trying to figure out how to turn my classroom into a video game. And I think I finally figured it out. I'm going to be implementing the system that I've developed next year, and I want you guys to kind of see the process, what it looks like. I'm going to be documenting everything here on my YouTube channel. If you're watching this in the future, there should be a playlist in the description below of all the things I've done already, and I've kind of explained how the rules are, how I've thought about my systems, and what they look like. And this video is a part of that playlist. And in this video, I want to talk to you guys about how I'm grouping my students and what problem I'm trying to solve by grouping them into teams rather than just having a bunch of students with a bunch of different accounts. So let's kind of walk you through it. I'm going to be using this whiteboard down here, or this piece of paper, to kind of explain the details. Okay, here we go. So the problem that I have in my classroom is that I have 6 periods, and in each of those periods I have 36 students. So that's about 218 students every year. And managing all these students every year in a game environment is pretty tough, because in my game I have XP, I have gold, I have magic, and I also have hit points or behavior points, where my students, if they're doing bad things, they lose some hit points. So mapping all of these stats to 218 students is really tough. Even if I automated most of my processes, which I have, it's still kind of hard to keep track of all this. So what I've had to do is figure out a way to reduce this number to something that's manageable. So I've done a few experiments, and the thing that really has worked out the best is to split your team or split your classroom into smaller groups, and then give different privileges to different students based on their account type. So I'll just kind of explain what that means. So what I've done was I've taken each of these 6 periods of 36 students, and what I've done with the 36 students is I've taken those 36 students and I've divided them into 6 teams of 6 students each in each team. So I have 6 teams that kind of look like this, and each of these 6 teams have a captain. And all of there's each of these captains have 5 other people that they're working with in the classroom to manage these things. So whenever an individual earns XP, gold, magic, or does something negative, they lose HP, those stats affect the whole entire team. And this is really cool, because this allows me to kind of use some social influence and behavioral mechanisms, like game mechanics, to really influence how my students behave. Because now they're no longer just responsible for their own actions, but they're responsible to a team. They're working together. They're doing things not just for themselves, but for other people, which is like a really cool human motivation that I've been able to kind of take advantage of with this way of grouping students. Now, in addition to having 6 teams per classroom, I also have an account that is the president's account. So this president's account is basically the account for the whole entire period, right? So I have 6 president's accounts, 1 for each period. I have 36 team accounts, 6 team accounts per period. So now we are only dealing with about 42 different accounts instead of 218, which is a lot smaller and a lot easier to kind of think about. The cognitive load of 42 versus the cognitive load of 218 is a lot different. So it's really easy to kind of manage this versus managing that. Now, a really cool thing that arrives, or that you get out of having 7 teams and 6 teams and 1 president's account and 6 president's accounts per year, is that you're able to create situations where each of these teams are competing with each other, and you're also able to create situations where you can make it so that the teams are cooperating with each other. So depending on how you want the activity to go, how you want your students to behave, you can create different scenarios where you have cooperation in between your teams and you have competition in between your teams. Another cool thing is by having a president's account, you can have these 6 periods competing or cooperating with each other as well. Now, a thing that's important to kind of remember is when you have a president's account, when you have a class account right here, you want to be able to give this president's account power over the entire classroom. So whenever there's competition or whenever there is an award or something that the whole entire team or the whole entire classroom wants to purchase, then the president has to purchase that for the team. It could be like a lab extension, or it could be like a special activity that only one period gets to do. Maybe it's like a guest speaker. Well, the president will have to figure out a way, or will convince the cast, hey guys, send me this type of resource so I can buy this particular thing. And only the president will be able to buy that particular award for the entire classroom. So that's kind of how it works. And most things that are happening in the class happens to teams, and certain privileges are able to be bought by the captain. So whenever a student needs something that needs to be purchased for them, they need to go through their captain. So it also creates like this hierarchy of like it's almost like a chain of command, and you can just give one student a direction, and that direction will be able to get spread to all of your teammates. And then you also have like a little bit of an accountability, like so each team captain is kind of accountable for their entire team, right? So it creates a pretty cool dynamic. I'm gonna leave it here. I'm gonna be covering other topics in this area soon as well. So if you guys like this, if you're interested in seeing what happened, check out the playlist below. Also, if you're just seeing this right now and if you want to subscribe to see what's happening, you can also do that. Thanks a lot, you guys. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.